me better when I wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I had to throw my wig in the air and catch it really fast so I could come give you a quick update on the video I posted about the Sephora braiding hair. So if you guys want to know more, let's go. I guess if you guys did not see it, I think last week, maybe the week before, somewhere around there, child, I uploaded a video announcing that Sephora was going to start selling braiding hair. When I looked on the app, there was only one company that I saw on there, and I told you guys about that. Well, I have now found out more information, and it's actually a couple brands Sephora is about to release selling hair. So let me tell you about it. Okay, so first up is Rebundle. After experiencing persistent scalp irritation from traditional braiding hair, Sierra Imani May founded Rebundle to create a healthier alternative. The company uses naturally extracted banana fiber to produce patented plant-based braiding hair that is vegan, biodegradable, non-toxic, and designed to be gentler on the scalp. Rebundle is also the first plant-based braiding hair brand to be sold at Ulta. There is Doso Beauty. Khadija Doso had braided hair for over 20 years when a severe allergic reaction to synthetic braiding hair pushed the West Philly native to build something safer. Launched in 2018, Doso Beauty is clinically tested, hypoallergenic braiding hair branded on a mission to make protective styling safer, more comfortable, and more accessible. Slay Hair. After years of experiencing itchy, scabbing, and hair breakage from protective styles, Diane Valentine invested 2 years and $500,000 of her own money to launch Slay Hair in 2023. The brand uses a proprietary cleansing process to remove toxins and carcinogens from its braiding hair and became the first Black-owned braiding hair brand to be sold at Target. Lashed and Hooked. When her teenage daughter experienced intense itching and burning after getting her hair done, founder Tiffany Gatlin used that frustration to create Lashed and Hooked, a Black woman-owned brand she established in 2016 to give women who wear protective styles a stress and toxin-free alternative. Since then, her brand became the first Black-owned faux hair brand to launch on QVC in 2023. Also, Cheese Luxe Braiding Hair. This Black woman-owned brand is dedicated to helping people channel their main character energy with soft, tangle-free, lightweight, hypoallergenic Kanekalon hair that is free from harsh chemicals, making it gentle for sensitive scalps without having to do any pre-washing. And that is the last one. So 5 brands on top of the one brand that I talked about in the original video, which was Ruka Hair. So 6 braiding hair brands that are coming to Sephora. Listen, baby, I told you, they already had me with just the one brand. Like I said, why not try it out if I'm going to get braids again anyway? And I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure out my hair for the rest of the year. I'm not sure if I'll be getting braids again, but when I do, I'll be trying one of these braiding hairs. The one brand with the pink hair, I don't know. I feel like pink braids, yeah, a little moment. However, the thing is, when I do colored hair, I will get tired of it very quickly. Like, I want to do, you know, pink hair, whether it's straight braids, whatever it is, you know, green hair, blue hair, purple hair. But I know, like, baby, it's only for a moment. That ain't something that you're gonna wear for like a month or something like that. Ooh, my voice. But I know when I do get braids again, I'm gonna try one of these brands. I know that much. So like I said, just wanted to quickly come give you guys that update that there will be options at Sephora when it comes to the braiding hair. So now I really am excited. Like, in the future, are we just sticking with braiding hair? Will you be able to buy bundles at Sephora? Because listen, when I tell you, them Sephora points will be racked up, okay? So I wanted to come give you guys a quick update on that, but I also wanted to address some of the things that I noticed with the first video that I uploaded. I have told you guys multiple times now that there is a level of nitpicking and discourse that comes about when it is Black-owned brands that are being talked about. I've been doing this for years, okay? I have pointed out when things are specifically women-owned brands, right? Latina-owned, Asian-owned. And I'm telling you, like, the type of rules, regulations, skepticism, don't see that when talking about those brands. But when it's time to talk about the Black-owned brand, I posted that video, said in the video, the brand, Ruka Hair, Black-owned brand, was coming to Sephora. I talk about Huda Beauty, Rhode Beauty, One Size Beauty, Rare Beauty, Charlotte Tilbury, Too Faced, Tarte, Dior, baby, Patrick Ta, you name it, I've talked about it throughout the years. All those brands are available at Sephora. I mentioned this black owned brand is coming to Sephora. Now all of a sudden, everybody got a problem with Sephora. When I talk about products from those brands and I say they're available at Sephora, I link them in the description and it takes you to Sephora, I'll be getting comments about the fact that it's sold at Sephora. But now we talk about this black owned brand that is selling something that is new to Sephora. Now we're not giving Sephora our money. That argument only makes sense if you do not shop at Sephora at all, which apparently a lot of people do, because when I talk about those other brands, those other products being sold at Sephora, I link them to Sephora. I can see who clicks on it, right? I can see how many people click on it. I say it's available at Sephora. And again, if you never shop there, then that's the only way that makes sense. Continue not shopping there. But Sephora, Ulta, Amazon, Nordstrom, CVS, Walmart, any of those places, those are all places that are owned by billionaires. So it's not just Sephora. If you shop at any of those places to buy any non-black owned brand, to make this where you draw the line, giving those companies your money, it would make me side eye you a little bit. It would. And even then, okay, you don't shop at Sephora. These brands existed before they were sold at Sephora. Did you go find out about them? Did you prioritize black owned brands being something that you give your money to so that you can go directly to the source and you don't even need these retailers? I don't have to wait for black owned brands to become so mainstream that they're available at retailers. Right now we're talking makeup, fashion, home goods, that type of stuff. I actively go search it, right? Okay, so before these brands were available at Sephora, if that was such a priority, were you going out and finding these black owned hair braiding companies, even if you're not looking for braiding hair bundles, anything like that? Were you finding them before they went mainstream by going to these retailers? Because the boycott on beauty supplies is about a month-ish old. And these brands are older than a month. So were you going to find them, or were you going to the beauty supply? Mind you, people are still going to the beauty supply. Not only are you going to the beauty supply that is not black owned, but you're going there and then buying things from companies that are also not black owned. But again, Sephora is where we draw the line, right? So Sephora aside, if you don't shop at Sephora, this is still good information for me to be putting out there, because these are 6 black owned hair braiding companies that you can go to directly and buy from them as well. Cash grab is a word that I saw quite a bit in the comments, and that, you know, they're just focusing on this right now because there is all this talk of the boycott and trying to spend your money elsewhere, which once again, they are still black owned brands, and they were black owned brands that existed before being sold at Sephora. So whether you're going through Sephora or you're being introduced to black owned brands you can go give your money to directly, it's still a good thing either way. However, the boycott on beauty supplies has only been like a 30-ish something days. I did follow the Rick Chung, whatever his name was, case, and that ended like late June, early July. So, and we're just getting into August. So the boycott has only been happening for about 30-ish days. Let me tell you something. No, it is not possible for your stuff to get picked up at Sephora, right? So your brand gets picked up at Sephora. So once you go through all the legal measurements, making sure you're good, Sephora is of course going to make sure they're good, and then you get the date for when you're supposed to have your product available at Sephora, right? Which I believe is this weekend. It's either the 3rd or the 7th, if I'm remembering correctly from the original video that I posted. It's sometime this week-ish, right? So you are now aware of when you need your stuff available to be put into Sephora. Baby, you're not doing all of that in 30-ish something days. This is information that these brands have been going back and forth about, coming to an agreement and getting ready for well in advance before the boycott started. I even had someone in the comments who said that they had received like email note. I guess they shopped the brand before. They had received email notifications like months ago that the brand was coming to Sephora. So again, like all the skepticism, all the nitpicking, all the, well, it's black owned. I'm so sorry, baby, buy it or don't. Okay, buy it from Sephora or don't. Buy it directly from the brand or don't. It's all this back and forth, all this nitpicking when it's a Black owned brand. However, it doesn't take that much to convince you to go buy some road contour just because it's going viral on TikTok. That's what's annoying. And when I pointed it out, how this is a thing that was done often when Sacred was launching and there was all that criticism and nitpicking, and Beyonce never shows her real hair before the brand launched, and then it launched and people were like, oh, this stuff's kind of good. How the same thing happened with Fenty hair, same thing with Rihanna. Rihanna wears wigs. Same thing happened with Tracy Ellis Ross, Pattern Beauty, even though we've seen Tracy Ellis Ross's hair 4 years. The response then was, oh, well, those are celebrities, so it's not the same thing because celebrities are known for cash grabs. Okay, well, this isn't celebrities. Y'all don't know these people. Y'all don't know these owners. These are regular business owners, and it's the same exact thing. I'm noticing a pattern here, and I'm going to point it out every single time because it irritates me real bad. Real bad. Like I said, buy it or don't, or continue buying whatever brand it is you were already buying, whether it's Black owned or not. So yeah, y'all, that is it for this video. Wanted to give you an update, wanted to speak about some of the things that I saw on there. Mind you, I literally still had someone who was telling me that it's not a Black owned brand and that this is something that Sephora is just throwing together. And I had to specify once again, this is a Black owned brand that existed before it was sold at Sephora. So now that we've cleared that up, if you have tried any of these brands, because again, they've existed before being sold at Sephora, let us know in the comments down below how you like any of them, because like I pointed out in the original video, reviews are what these brands rely on to get their name out there. Like I said, I will definitely check out one of these brands the next time I get braids done, so I will keep you guys updated on that. Make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn notification bells down below. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one.